Um, um, um. Boy, do I like these chocolate chip pancake Pop-Tarts. They are so tasty.
Grumpy, how the hell did you get that in the recording room?
I have my ways. You're
Did,
welcome.
did you just leave them in the
Why,
fridge?
you have the engine. Great work. You
I'm
surprised
not
us
answering
all,
anything.
and pleasantly this
I am
time.
eating
Yeah,
this
that's
Pop-Tart
fine, and we all
that's
get
actually
it.
real.
Now let's
I'm not
roll.
joking. This is a real flavor out on the shelves.
Oh, I know. I've tried it before. It's all right. I think my biggest problem with the flavor is it's like I don't normally
There,
like chocolate
the
chip
engine's in
pancakes
place.
And we've got
normally,
that gizmo that gives me more lives.
Prepare for
but
liftoff.
it's an all right flavor. Have
Yeah.
you tried the strawberry? I think it's like strawberry milkshake.
Farewell, big blue
I
ball of
don't
idiots.
think I have.
Farewell, big blue ball of idiots.
Hey, that's what I call Earth.
Taken over.
I mean,
Spaceship Earth.
Oh no, Epcot is gonna take over the world.
yeah,
I knew it.
And just Epcot just launches into space.
A ship appears to be leaving the planet, Mother.
What? Show me.
It's right here on the radar screen.
Damn it, Larry. Radar's been obsolete for centuries. Use the stereopticon.
I deserve that. Thank you.
I love it. I love that. God damn!
Express ship.
They're onto us!
Oh, they're trying
Quick,
to
Rumpy,
escape.
evasive maneuvers!
No matter.
He
I'm
says,
on it.
Hunt them
he says,
down
knowing full
while
well
they
that Rumpy's not flying this thing.
Well, dude, I'd fly it if you let me out of the damn booth.
No! Told you it's locked.
And they're gonna stop me.
I can't let
More.
I can't let you out as much as I can let myself out.
What kind of operation is this?
Sweet butt crust on a
A
cracker.
commentary
Who
channel,
thought
that's what
this
it is.
miserable little planet would be so heavy.
Walt.
How dare you, Walt?
Ow.
Who thought this play would who knew this play would be so early? Walt did. Well, how dare you, Walt? Oh, seriously though, I love the writing in this game. because they got like fucking this is right after season 4, but it like genuinely has some of the best writing from Futurama. Like this really just feels like a classic Futurama episode. My favorite thing about it.
What can I do's use for?
I need a
Do's
spaceship
useful.
engine. Nothing special. Well, except it has to be powerful enough to move the Earth.
The Earth? Holy
The Earth!
Jesuses. But that
Holy
is the dark
Jesuses.
matter, and a big one for that.
Money's no object, as I will soon be
So one of
taking
my-
over the universe. Perhaps
I love that reaction. Holy
The dark
Jesuses.
matter engines. You're gonna have to find the guy who invented it, Hubert Farnsworth.
that old goat from Planet Express? But he just got away, that son of a mother-loving no-good piece
No
of...
worries. I got an idea. An ideas.
And ideas. I also love because honestly, I forgot I edited the fucking Planet Express ship to be the Winnebago. Until that popped up, it's like, oh shit, I forgot about it.
Bender as well.
So now I can die and come back to life like Fry? Does that mean?
Yes, you're a playable character.
This is the happiest day of my life.
Liberation.
It's the happiest day of my life. Well, and it's also funny because this game is about as canon as the Anthology of Interest segment.
Got him in the suck beam.
So
Love
it's considered
Now's a
non-canon,
real to me
but
like the
we
blue
know
gray
Bender
blowfish they are.
basically doesn't have a backup unit. If this game was canon, he technically would have had one
Everyone just remain
because they could
calm.
just clone him.
Die! It's every robot for himself.
That robot appears to be escaping.
Yes, escaping to certain death.
Well, I'm boned.
I'm sure I'll be fine.
Ooh.
There we go.
Oh. Imagine not just dying, but having the fucking thing that resurrects you crashing on your dead body.
Bender, you mechanical marvel! You there?
What? Who said that? Is it God?
No, though I'm as old as him.
Oh, hey, Professor.
Oh,
What are
hey,
you doing
Professor.
inside my head?
I'm transmitting over your internal radio.
Hello.
Our ship is still trapped in the suck ray. We need you to find the
Doc,
source of the beam.
Doc contacting you,
What's it?
trying to
What's it?
get you to help help fix the
We'll rescue
Winnebago.
you and take you with us off this godforsaken asteroid.
Who is it?
I've
Is
got
it
a box of
God?
magazines
No,
with them
but I'm
not
as old as
sent
him. Oh,
along.
hey, Monroe.
Roger that. Over now.
By the way, Bender's section is one of the reasons why I hate the platforming in this game. Going back to what I was saying earlier, so at the time of recording these parts, I have not finished recording Bender's section, but the platforming for me is like, this is where it gets the most annoying, because Bender's section is mostly platforming, and it's just kind of, oh, this is fun. Yeah. Can't wait to see like 90% of the deaths. Honestly, I really do wish that this game didn't have a life system.
Hell thing.
Well, and to be fair, the life system is something that I don't fully get why it's even in this game.
Just left these lying around.
That's a good question, Bender. Like, I don't fully get why it's in this game, because I don't get I don't get why they would need like, does the reanimator only have a set number of charge and they have to keep getting items to, because for every 25 of the main character's money items, you get an extra life.
It's my
So does it
personal
need like
Robobium.
Robobium? So does it need to be charged or something? Because like that's what doesn't make sense to me about the lives. It just, you would think it would just be a permanent thing, and dying enough is enough of a dying is enough of a punishment for how, even with the checkpoints not being terrible, with how far back the game puts you, dying is bad enough. So why not just remove the lives altogether? And although, you want to know the strangest thing? This is one of the only PlayStation 2 games, especially because it came out in like 2003.
Ah, great. I've got to collect these stupid fur balls too.
There's a train of thought. Anyway, like, this game came out in 2003, and it's one of the only PlayStation 2 games I know of that actually uses the D-pad as movement. I mean, it does that as an option. Like, the game is supposed to be controlled with like the analog stick, but if you wanted to, you could move your character. You were saying, Bender? But yeah, if you want to, you can control the game with the D-pad, and it's just kind of interesting.
My empty wallet.
Oh,
By the way, guess what button is the jump button? Take into account, playing, like I mentioned, I am playing on the PlayStation 2, so you'd have to
Hey,
you'd have to account for like PlayStation buttons. Um, but yeah, like guess which button is the jump button in this game?
Which button?
The circle button.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
find you ourselves.
Just feels weird.
I know. I know, it feels weird that the jump button be circle, but it happens.
It is not as weird as a Bethesda game making it be like triangle or Y.
Why would you make it triangle or Y?
That is something that every Bethesda game I have played, the jump button being the top face button, it always bothers me. And it's nothing against Bethesda games as a whole, because the Bethesda games I've played, I've enjoyed. I don't like pressing the fucking Y button to jump because it makes no fucking sense and feels weird.
I know. I mean, circle is one thing, but why?
Yeah, circle is at least...
Why?
Yeah, why? Circle at least makes sense because that's a button that, like, I can get that. The top face button feels fucking weird. It honestly is one of the things that just kind of bothers me with Bethesda games. And it's outside of using an outdated engine that was outdated a decade ago, it's one of the few things that genuinely bothers me about Bethesda games. Because other than that, Bethesda isn't a terrible company. I'm not a fan of them, mostly because of the game engine thing. Like, guys, seriously, this engine was outdated a decade ago, and you're still using it for games. Saying that engine is held up by duct tape and hope is being generous. Again, not saying Bethesda games are bad. Not saying Bethesda games are bad, because I still like Fallout. I haven't messed around a lot with Elder Scrolls, but what I have messed with Elder Scrolls, I think it's okay. It's not my thing, but it's okay. Have you ever played any Bethesda games?
Boulders do float in quicksand.
Just Dishonored.
I don't know if I'd count that, because that's more of a published by Bethesda than actually made by them.
No.
Because I've played a handful of Bethesda games. Also, I love just as I suspected, boulders do float in quicksand.
Well, that's just science.
It depends on how deep the quicksand is. You know what game would actually be weird for the channel, for me to record for the channel, if I can actually get it working on my Windows 11 laptop?
What?
Did you know that one of the first games that Telltale Games ever made was actually an adaptation of the Bone comic series?
Cool.
Yeah. They only did the first 2 volumes of the series, so we got Out from Boneville and Great Cow Race. But if I can get that running, that would genuinely be... It would be interesting. From what I've heard, the games are okay. they're not great point and click adventures, but the fact that those are the closest we'll ever get to an actual adaptation of those books genuinely kind of saddens me, actually.
Yet.
I mean, at this point, I want a movie, even if we never get the full story adapted, I want a movie adaptation of Bone just to get something. And I'm still pissed at Netflix for canceling the series before it even got a chance to gain an audience. Drives me nuts even more because Netflix keeps trying to push we care about animation, after canceling so many damn projects. Have you ever actually read that series, by the way?
Bones? No, I never picked it up.
It's good. Like it is definitely worth reading. For me, it really does feel like a for me it feels like a more kid-friendly version of something like Lord of the Rings. But it is a really good fantasy story. Which is another reason why I'm upset that the Netflix series for that was canceled. Because it could make for
Into a tasteful ring.
oh my god, this made it to a tasteful ring. Because it honestly could be turned into a really good series if given somebody who actually cares about the source material. Although I'm even more upset. What the hell is going on over there?
What?
It sounds like you keep hitting your mic.
The squirrel's trying to beat me up for some reason. Ow. Ow. Damn it, get off!
Sophia, you're gonna do that, at least mute Rumpy's mic so it doesn't come up on it.
Don't spare me now.
Oh.
But yeah,
That's for not getting me any bear claws, you dick. Stupid idiot.
I am a little upset. Not only was the Netflix Bone series canceled, I think Netflix was also working on a adaptation of the Redwall books, which I would have loved to see that. But at least in Redwall's case, we did get an adaptation of 3 of the books. Not that it's easy to actually watch that adaptation, but although I say that the entire series is on YouTube for free. But yeah, like the Redwall at least got an adaptation. Bone, like Jeff Smith, who had created Bone, has been working on getting an adaptation of that made since the 90s. And every time he has talked to a company to get an adaptation made, it falls through. Like he talked with Nickelodeon. He originally talked to Nickelodeon to have Nickelodeon adapt it, but what Nickelodeon planned for the series could have actually ruined it.
Oof.
We're talking about having child actors play the main characters, despite the fact that one of the main characters drinks and another of the main characters smokes. And they also wanted to fill the movie with pop songs. And if I remember correctly, Jeff Smith's I don't know if it was Jeff Smith Netflix reaction, but I remember like one of the reactions to that news is basically you wouldn't put pop songs in Lord of the Rings. And that's the best way to describe how bad that idea
Mommy's
is.
not gonna like that.
Warner Brothers, I think the best option we could have gotten, hilariously enough, would have been from Warner Brothers. And to be fair, this was like 2010s before he who must not be named got in charge of Warner Brothers. So that, like, it actually had a chance to be a decent adaptation. Even more interesting because it would have been Warner Brothers planned to do a trilogy, like basically three. Because if I remember correctly, I think Bone is 9 volumes long, so it would have been like 3 volumes per movie, which would have been great.
Whoopee.
Whoopee. Don't know what happened to that version, but pretty much all we know is that version ended up not happening, and Jeff Smith ended up going to Netflix, and I mean, again, like, Netflix almost immediately got canceled because Netflix doesn't really care about animation, despite saying they care about animation. Also, I love it. I love Agnes's line there. If you see mommy, tell her I killed you. You know, I actually am curious which is worse for animation, Warner Brothers or Netflix.
Probably Netflix. I don't know.
You know what? I would actually say Warner Brothers because at least Netflix doesn't cancel something if it's actually finished. Because first off, Netflix, despite Netflix canceling a lot of animated projects, with Netflix we did at least get Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which that was in development hell for years.
Thank God that came out.
Oh yeah, and it's such a beautiful film. Anyway, I think that's the end of the part, so I will try and continue this train of thought. Next part.
See ya.
Yeah, see you guys then.